In sport, talent shows up early. You can see it at school level. The kid who moves differently, reads the game faster, gets picked without having to explain why. For a while, that carries you. You get away with missed trainings, loose preparations, inconsistent standards. Then, the competition changes. Suddenly, everyone on the field was talented once, and the gap stops being ability. It becomes who turns up sharp every week when the novelty wears off. That is usually the moment people start talking about bad luck, or timing, or why this season is different. Not because these reasons are fake, but because they're useful. Andrew, the average person isn't honest with themselves. That's the biggest issue, isn't it?
Well, certainly if you have ambition in life, you have to be honest about where you are and where you want to be. If you want to be a small fish in a big pond, if you want to be a big fish in a small pond, if you want to be the big fish in the big pond, they're all different end game, and the goals that you have to set to achieve that position and what you need to do to get from point A to B is all determined by that end game.
I think most New Zealanders like to play the victim.
The victim card is a colloquial cliche. The reality is New Zealand is filled with high achievers, with people that push past boundaries. Yeah, we're a little island in miles away from every other country in the world, basically. But there are heaps of Kiwis on the main stage when it comes to global success. We punch above our weight, and there's plenty of room in the world for more Kiwis to have success.
Well, why do I see so many people give excuses, though? Those people you're talking about, I think, are an exception.
Yeah, the complainers are the loud ones that are not working. The complainers are always going to find an excuse to say, I'll get it done tomorrow, whereas the high achievers are usually busy working.
I know we've spoken about Michael Jordan previously on an episode here, and you said we don't want to get hooked up on Michael Jordan, but the more I have analysed that discussion from a couple of days ago, the more I've realised that because he worked so hard, that was what made him talented rather than the base of talent in the first place.
Yeah, if you look at sports, New Zealand sports, the All Blacks, we've had plenty of talented rugby players that haven't made it long term, where you think, oh, they could have been 100 Test All Black. Why did it not happen? And then you see journeymen that might not have the same natural talent, but they work hard and they stick at it and they don't get injured and they do hit 50, 100 plus tests. So the thing is, talent might get the door open or it might get you with some connections, but hard work is more important than all of the other factors, because talent does wane, talent does have bad luck. But if talent doesn't work hard, talent runs out of opportunity.
We've spoken about the bell-shaped curve a couple of times. I think New Zealanders do have standards, but on the bell-shaped curve, we've got average standards compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Particularly the Indians, particularly the Chinese, who work real hard.
New Zealand has a cushy parachute set up. We've got very strong social checks in place that if you do fail, there's always going to be the benefit, there's going to be job seekers allowance, there's going to be charities that are there to feed you or clothe you. So I guess that what it does do is make the population at large lazier, because they know that they don't have to work much harder to achieve life's basics. If you go to places like India or China and they don't have the same safety net in place, you do actually have to work to achieve bare minimum living standards.
Yeah. I always think to myself, I'll use the analogy of cricket. There's 1 billion Indian people in the world, and if you're in the first 11 Indian cricket team, you must be extra special.
Yeah, royalty. Yeah. And the level of competition in New Zealand, because actually we're a very big land mass country that we're all spread out, to be the best something in East Auckland is not that hard. There's not that much competition. And because our population density is relatively low, you're not going to have competition from other new entrants, and people don't have the choice, so they have to go to your business whether you're good or not.
If you're a high achiever, how do you stop making excuses? Because people do make excuses.
High achievers don't make excuses.
They must have used to. They must have had a change of mindset.
High achievers might chide themselves in the moment, but they will say, oh, next time we're going to get it. Next time we're going to do this. Next time. So if you are having setbacks, if you use it as learning and growth and lessons on how to improve, then it's just a pathway to your success. If you're using excuses or setbacks as a reason not to try again, then you are being defeated by them.
It also must come down to what we've spoken about previously in episodes, the people you surround yourself with.
Very, very, very significant part of breaking through to that next level of success is the environment. You can use as fuel people telling you it can't be done. So those closest to you saying, oh, why are you doing this? Or, are you sure about that? You don't necessarily need the network in the beginning, but as you do involve yourself in certain industries or certain investment vehicles, you inevitably start finding other people that are going to help you or that they're doing the same, and that becomes your group. And I think that this whole 150 people Dunbar's number thing has changed. Is your family unit is not doesn't need to be your business unit. It might be that you have 10 lots of 15 and they're all different groups of people, your gaming group, your gym group, your family group, your business group, and that is your 150. Whereas the village, say 1,000 years ago, was 150 people in the village, whereas at the moment now we can start breaking your life up into components and having different groups of people that they don't intersect at all.
I think there's an argument that you don't need talent for anything. Just as long as you've got a strong work ethic and standards and work hard, you can get there.
Talent is defined in so many different ways. Is talent the top 1%? Is talent above average, which would be the top 50%? You can define talent in your own way. And to have a natural affinity for something or to be naturally good at it and then double down on it, you develop your talent. So if you're in the top 50% of something, you're above average, you can become in the top 20% of it just by spending more time doing it. So you can develop your talent. That talent development is because of your hard work. So your talent won't develop without hard work. You can actually take yourself to a below average driver. You are not as good as the average driver to being one of the top drivers. That's how we all start. None of us are above average drivers when we start. But some people, when they're 14, they start learning to drive, 15, 16, they become Formula One drivers. And that's because their talent developed fast. They had a passion for it. It's the same with anything you try. If you let your talent develop through hard work, you can achieve.
Once excuses start doing the work talent used to do, time fills up fast. Everything feels urgent. Nothing actually moves. And from the outset, it still looks like effort. Trainings, meetups, plans, conversations. But the momentum has already slowed. That is usually when people start saying they're just too busy right now. We'll have more on this in the next episode.